Welcome to our tutorial on async await in JavaScript. Async await is a modern way of writing asynchronous code in JavaScript. Instead chaining of callbacks due to promises. We can use the async await keyword to pause the execution of our code until data is available from promise. So let's start. We will walk through the problem and learn about async await, and we'll know how to use it with promises. The problem is the dependency of output in next lines of script. As you know, JavaScript code execution does not wait for promises callbacks. But if you need output of the previous line of code that contains promise, then it will become a problem for you. Let's understand this problem from real-life coding scenario. Suppose that there is some application that needs some kind of data from API. It call load data function, then print the data in console. And then the feature ends by calling console log. Inside load data function, a data variable is created. And before the HTTP request, axios call text is logged, and after the axios call ends, text is logged. The responsive API is assigned to the data variable, and the data variable is returned from function. And if we execute this code, first of all axios call and axios call ends, text from load data function is printed, and then return value of load data function printed and feature ends. If you see in console, the result of HTTP request for API is printed at the ends of the output. Means that the JavaScript not waited for HTTP request. And if we debug this code, we can see that the data variable is empty. And first of all axios text is printed. Then axios HTTP request is made. Then axios call ends text is printed, means in lines after HTTP call is executed. But if you look at the value of data variable, it is still empty. And this empty value is returned and printed in console as shown. The HTTP request for API call is still pending. But the end of script is executed successfully. This was the example of common problem faced in JavaScript. So how we can fix it? We can fix it using concept of async and await keywords. With async keyword, you can make a function return a promise. For example, here some function is return some value. And after writing async keyword before the function declaration, it started return a promise instead of 300. So, previously without async keyword it was return normal value, but now it will start returning a promise including the previous returning value. This was due to async keyword. With async keyword you can make a function return a promise. And now we will know about await keyword. The await keyword is used to pause execution flow. It will stop execution for all next lines of code and wait for a promise to get it resolved and return some value. Only after the promise returns some value, then execution of next lines will start. Let's see how it works. First, we will create two async functions, sum and print result, with async keyword. We called sum function inside print result and stored its value in result variable. Now if print result variable value, it will return a promise giving value 100. Let's put await keyword before the call of sum function. You can see that now sum function is returning value 100 directly without any promise. It happened due to async keyword. Async keyword paused the execution flow and waited till the promise value of sum function is resolved. And if we remove the async keyword, it will again starts returning promise as value. And we have to take care of one thing, that async keyword must be only used inside the async function or top level of module, otherwise it will throw error. So, That was the basic working for async, await, and now we will see its implementation in real scenario of HTTP requests. We will try to fix the problem of axios call that we explained in starting of this tutorial. In previous example, we will create a new function load data task. And move the logic in starting inside this function. We will call it so execution can be performed. Now we will make it async function with putting async keyword in front of function declaration. After that, we will put await keyword before the load data function call. We will also make load data function async by putting async keyword before its declaration. And now we will modify this axios HTTP call logic. We create a new variable response and assign it to the return value of axios call. We will put await keyword before the axios call to wait for the axios HTTP request results. We will remove this promises then logic as this then operation will be now done by await keyword. We will move all the logic inside then call back in new lines after the axios call. Now if we run it and see the execution flow. First load data function is called. And inside it the data array variable is empty. Axios call text is printed in logs. Then axios HTTP request is made. And if we look at the response variable, it contains the response of axios call. Then value of response data is assigned to data variable. And it contains the HTTP result array. This HTTP result array from data variable is logged in console. After that, axios call ends text log. After the execution of load data function, it return the data variable in load data task function call. And if you look at the data variable, it now contains the HTTP result array. And previously, without async await keywords, the execution till the end of script was performed. And still it was an empty array, containing no results. But now with the help of async await, the execution is paused till the promise is resolved. And results are available from HTTP call and data variable. Like this video if you find this tutorial helpful. And subscribe this channel for next upcoming JavaScript tutorials on important topics. See you in next video.